Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
No.
So I've been having some I've been having some computer issues. Hello everyone. I had problems with computers, so we're a little late. And oh my God, look over there! It's a shiver, shiver, shiver. Sing us a song. No, don't do that. That's my job.
Yes, please do. Please do that.
That's my job. Harris is also here. Harris is here. Give me a beer. Seriously, I've only got wine today. It's a problem.
I'm sick. Fortunately, because I have to actually watch my body that it contains what it keeps.
Got it. Eric, Nakara.
What?
What do we call you? I don't know. I'm done. Today's not a good intro day. Let's dance.
Western Canadian man.
Yes, bearded Western Canadian.
Sure.
So, oh my, it's been a week. We're here, though. We're ready to talk some Star Citizen.
Are we ready though?
I don't know. This one is honestly going to be more down to you, Eric.
Okay.
I've been slightly distracted. So, wait. Are we live?
Are we live?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was
Okay.
talking about the carrot. Not.
Oh, the carrot. Okay. Whew. Oh my. I'm just.
Okay. So,
What is that you're drinking?
Wine.
Okay.
a lot of wine, apparently.
No, I don't have much left.
We have. This is really weird. So now we're getting like, at least on my end, like once every 10 seconds it stops for like just a moment and then continues.
Yeah.
It's a totally different issue. How do we get this to have no issues at all?
Why is everything fine on my end? I've got the worst internet on the planet.
You know what?
I don't
I'll just
know.
refresh Twitch and I'll
Fine.
probably be fine. We should all have Shiver's internet, and that would be great.
You don't.
No.
You don't want it.
Actually, this was this was a good week because our TV was back and it was good, and Todd Pappy was on for an hour.
Yep. That's important.
He also pulled out an iconic line in Star Citizen lore that will go down in history with "This is bullshit" and other similar ones. It's one of my favorites, and it was, "How much of your ass are you going to flash at the universe?"
All of it.
Full moon, yeah. Yeah, we also had ATV, which had, of course, the Carrack, so it was the best ATV we've had in at least a year.
Why? No one likes that
Because it had
shit.
the Carrack.
Did you see
Actually, I
that
didn't.
fucking ship? Did you fucking see it?
I didn't.
Yeah, it's still a little bit,
Grey Bugsy?
dog-esque, but
I've kind of.
That's an erection of a ship.
Yes,
I've
I've
almost
got
honestly.
my tie on this week because of the Carrack.
Not only that, you can erect the antennas.
Yeah.
The
I'm just doing
antennas
this
can be
this
erected.
week. I
Yeah,
can't be asked
that's
to go get a
totally-
shirt.
And we also got to see one of the really weird things, which was the trees blowing in the wind inside the 890 jump, which I kind of was like,
Okay, we're gonna have to. Should we just go straight to show and tell then? Is that what's happening?
Alien trees.
I don't know.
Behavior.
You wanted me to talk about this week in Star Citizen. I am going for it.
Okay, well let's just go straight to this, because as always, Haramis
We're gonna
has.
pull up the trees blowing in the wind.
Oh
and-
crap!
and
I didn't set them.
You should set them.
Yeah. Just give me a second to set this. Oh, it.
Fair enough.
As
We
you
also
see here,
had,
this is a video of space.
Yeah, this
Deep
is a
space.
this is a perfect video of deep space right here. Yeah,
And all what you
the lights are always out. Shiver.
Okay.
So why can't we colonize the sun?
Extract here.
The
Bacon.
problem, yeah, that's a good point. We could.
Go at nighttime.
Oh God. Wait. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So let's
We'll
start
leave that
with.
up to you, okay, Shiv?
Let's start with this. Did it not? Done.
I agree with
there.
Fastcard. That's
Okay.
a picture of him.
Oh my.
Hey, Star Citizen. Cool.
Yeah, I got it working. Thanks for these, Hermes, as always.
Yes.
My
This is a
pleasure.
pretty good intro video, actually.
Yeah,
It's very silly. I liked it.
really good made.
Yeah.
For a contest.
This is a fan made commercial, right? Thought
I
so.
believe so.
For one of those, they're running a lot of those commercial contests. I think.
Uh-huh.
I
And
feel
most
like
of them are turning out great, actually.
yeah. Well, I think they also like they look good. They're easy for them to do because they don't have to do it. Fans do it, and it still ends up as being good advertising, right? Because they're able to just show these off, and hey, there's a Star Citizen video that didn't cost them anything when you think about it.
Yep. Because it is the word people ships usually, so it's like, well, that's free.
Yeah,
Yeah. The game sells itself
yeah.
to some extent because it's just pretty.
Well, when you think about it, the game has always sold itself. It's been one of the big selling points is CIG haven't advertised, and it's why they did the whole selling part of the company earlier this year or late last year, whenever it was. They are going to have to advertise at some point, but until then, this is it, and this works. Right?
I mean,
Yep.
the other thing, now that it just suddenly occurred to me, well, Squadron 42 itself is advertisement for Star Citizen.
Yep.
You
Yes,
know,
it is.
someone might play Squadron and follow it up and say, oh, I want more of this. Oh, Star Citizen
And
right now.
I guarantee you there will be no secret in Squadron 42 that Star Citizen exists.
oh yeah,
They'll be like, and then once you've played this, play this, and it'll be all over the credits, and it'll be all over the start screen, and be like, Star Citizen.
for people that don't have Star Citizen, Squadron 42 will probably come with, oh, here, try Star Citizen free for a weekend, right? Like
Free trial. Yeah,
free trial,
totally.
right?
I could definitely see that. And that, so if you spend all that money on the advertising game, you sell tons of copies, then you expose tons of people to Star Citizen, so it's perfect.
When I played Freelancer for the first time, I thought, oh, what would that game in multiplayer be?
Yeah.
So, and then the modding came, and more people played it really online, and I tried it, but at that time I must say it wasn't enough for multiplayer. So, and this time with Star Citizen, strong single player, then you can have the time to go also in the multiplayer a little bit more and into the verse, and you have enough to do and stuff. In the Freelancer, and destroying. So
That's strange. So there was a brief dip there, and I'm watching my internet now, and it dropped down to half. Down.
Yeah, something definitely happened there.
I'm gonna watch that. So here, one of the things, and you make a good point there, Hermes, and you made me think of a little bit more. And lots of games now are doing this whole like games as a service stuff, right? Anthem is coming out soon, and Anthem has this whole thing of like, there's the single player story that goes on while you're not in your Javelin. And then you go out and you join a bunch of random people and you go kill stuff, and then you come back and you've got your story in the city, then you go out and kill stuff, then you're back in the city. And
So
lots
it's
of
Destiny.
yeah, it is. But
Yes.
it is. And lots of games are doing that now because people still want a story, but they also want multiplayer. But Star Citizen doesn't have to really deal with that, right? They don't have to sacrifice a good story.
No, because they made the incredibly difficult decision to make 2 AAA games at the same time.
Yeah.
Instead of making
Wouldn't it for
the incredibly easy decision that Activision and EA made when they're like, oh, we'll just make half of each game and they'll both suck.
Yeah.
What's that,
I
Hermes?
mean, technically, wouldn't the writers have to be writing for 3 games because there's Squadron 42 follow-up, which they've already concepted, and they've got to think about that as well.
Yes.
Or even 4 if you think about it, because there are
Yeah.
3 episodes of Squadron. So
I think Squadron is definitely going to push us over the edge in action-wise and all the stuff, and we can calm down in the universe because the persistent universe is going to be slow, and you have to be nitty-gritty to find your lore and so on. But that's the actually the challenge for Squadron 42, to make us so curious about the persistent universe that we get to the information, want to go to the information itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it has
absolutely.
to make us go to somewhere in the verse to find out what we are searching for. So
I really like the. Whoa! What the hell happened there? It just jumped up to like. How do I zoom this out? My send for like a couple seconds there jumped up to like 30 sending, and then back down.
oh, well, that's really weird.
It's
Your internet is. You know what I think
it's-
the basis of the problem is? I think your internet's unstable.
I think it is, and it was last year, and I argued with the company for a while, and I think this year I'm just gonna find a new company later. Anyway, so one of the things that happens right now in Star Citizen a lot is there's not much to do in the game, but people are making amazing things to do in the game, and honestly, CIG is kind of helping that. CIG's, I feel like the competitions they have, the video making competitions and the like show us your best formation competitions, those give people a reason to try and do interesting things in the verse, and then you get video of it, and I think that's really cool.
beautiful video shots of the Gladius formations. Oh, wonderful. So,
Like-
Absolutely, yeah.
Just gorgeous. What else have we got here?
The before you move on, the shots that were showing the FPS combat brought back a lot of memories of PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2, which in a good way, because the thing that game did so damn well was this feeling of war, being on a battlefield.
Yeah.
The fact that you know it's just out of range, that there's nothing going on there. If you strategically approach, it gives that sense of scale, which really helps for the verse.
Yeah. I agree. The sense of scale that you're gonna eventually get, especially like, I feel like they're gonna have to sort of improve ground to air capabilities so that people will be able to have bases that are better defended, so you're going to have a harder time landing and getting those troops off. But that's all stuff that'll come. But it's going to be, as long as they make there be a reason to get into these bases, I think it'll be great.
I think there'll be a lot of reason, because there'll be a lot of people who want to be pirates, and they're like, that's a mining base.
Yeah.
It's basically full of like recently mined, highly valuable material. Give it to me so I can sell it.
Yeah.
But I think that I do like that they've already talked at least about having air to, or ground to air like turrets and stuff for your bases that you set up with the Pioneer.
Yeah.
Because you will absolutely need to be able to build, or else your shit's gonna get stolen and destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my internet. It's doing this. Here.
The loping thing? Yeah.
But
Go.
then you, as defense, you can set yourself into a big atmosphere because people don't like to drive through atmospheres. So I'm considering to change my gameplay and going to space stations and only go to planets if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, did you hear, Hermes, that they're planning to change the travel times to ground?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just overflown it, unfortunately. Can you?
It was they're planning to reduce the amount of time it takes to get to the planet by about it'll be about a third of what it is right now.
Okay.
So up on screen right now,
And then, internet.
is my internet. So
Yeah.
for anyone wondering about why there's going to be occasional just drops.
You know what? Probably all of the problems we've been having are your internet.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's always a different problem, and that all can be traced back to whether or not your internet's working properly.
Which it's not, clearly. So, yes, this is exact replica of the internet.
Yeah. This is what the internet looks like. It's just graphs everywhere. It's all graphs. It's not tubes like you've heard in the past. It's all graphs.
Internet, how does it work?
So coming back to the atmosphere thing, I
was just gonna add the last part of what I was gonna say is that they're also gonna allow you, I believe, to quantum earlier in the atmosphere.
Okay, but I see also problems with that if we quantum everywhere. So then it's just jumping, and the next thing I see is different atmospheres. Some are big, some are small. Moons don't have any. So
there's going to be a lot of balance.
That it has to take time. Otherwise, you jump reality too much. So
I don't want it to be like Elite Dangerous, where you're trying to fast travel somewhere and you go past by like 17,000 light years, and then you go back into the normal mode of flying, and it takes you 47 years to a 360-degree turn, because you're actually not flying spaceships, you're flying 47-wheeler trucks, and then you fast travel back the other way, and you go too far, and it takes you another 47 years to turn. It just.
I have to ask you, what's the 47th wheel for?
Bear.
The steering.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, steering wheel. Got it.
Why does everyone say, oh yeah, that's a 4-wheel car? No, bloody, it's a 5-wheel car. The steering wheel is a wheel. So I'm gonna just go away right now. I'll cue you guys up the next video, and I'm just gonna go.
Oh, he is gonna go away. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
he froze for a good few seconds.
rusted.
Engine. This is the engine damage one, right?
I dislike it.
You
Because
dislike
it's
You
lame.
dislike it.
Yeah, we don't have mass impulse. We don't throw mass behind us to advance into space. We have some I don't know, ions or something, and there are no flames.
Yeah,
no oxygen, no flames.
There really shouldn't be
Uh,
flames.
Yeah,
But-
that's not how it works in space.
Nah.
You can totally have a fire in space as long as there's a
Oxygen.
source for it.
Yeah.
It will
you
have
need,
a very, limited range on it. You can totally have fire in space.
As
you
long as
need
there's
oxygen and you need ionization, which shows it. But I
The
think
fact that, well,
that should be different.
part of the engine, there's action going on there. There's your source of fire.
As long as there's oxygen, which there
as
isn't
long as there is
outside.
oxygen. So
Yeah.
and
Unless there's a
Like I just said, it's a combustible engine.
well, is it
it
are
a
they
combustible
chemical
engine,
engines?
though?
I can't remember.
no,
I'm pretty sure it is.
they use hydrogen as.
Oh yeah,
one
yeah.
fuel
Then they must
source,
have a
but
Then
they
they must
don't
have
use it. They don't thrust it behind you, or they don't just fuel it down. They actually use it in a different way.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, we'll see.
I can
also
see a bit of
thought this
fire,
looked a little janky, but
And yeah,
I
like
can see a
CH
bit of
Maverick says,
fire,
it's
and I
really
can
cool.
see all kinds of effects, which are more electrical nature, or something, or something is stuttering, but so much flame is okay. What do I breathe now in the cockpit? Because I think every oxygen now is just pushed out of the exit, out of the thruster.
it's been pushed out the back.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Well, we quite enjoyed your dancing. No, you didn't miss anything.
Okay. Cool.
Next.
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 It's a ship. No one cares about it. I'm going to skip it.
Hey.
It's a bad-looking ship.
Well, that's your opinion.
And I'm
White
always
Wolf.
right.
Except for the 85% of the time that you're wrong.
0%. I'm always right.
I think the 890 jump is cool. I just don't really want
Yeah, so
a
much
flying brothel.
space in the ship itself, which is unused and never can be used because of curves.
Yep. Hey, here's the windy trees. What the hell is? What's going on in the ship?
Alien,
What
alien behavior.
Are those stairs?
Yes.
What is that? What is that?
Those stairs are awesome.
Literally, what is everything on this ship?
I do.
None of it
I do
makes
like the
any
halo
sense.
around the bed
Why?
because it's ridiculous.
Future.
If you want a porn shoot in the future, you want it in
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely. That's what I said. It's a
Yeah.
flying brothel. That's what it's for.
I don't know. I think it's a hideous looking ship. I really, really don't like it.
The,
really
the
it does-
exterior I love so much. The exterior is just
I have to
perfect.
say, it really does actually look like a yacht, though. They did nail that look.
But it's like,
Yeah.
I don't like how the entirety of the top is just flat. It looks like a giant pizza wedge. It's like they were like, oh, let's make this look like a Star Destroyer, but also not cool.
Fair enough.
Star Destroyer. It's a yacht.
It's a yacht.
It's the same shape as a Star Destroyer. Look, and even that, like, ooh, here it's going to come right over top. It's a Star Destroyer. They're like, we're going to have even the same filmography as a Star Destroyer. That's
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, a bit.
It's funny because I just took a quick look. Like, if you look up pictures of huge yachts, it looks very similar. It's basically just a yacht.
Yeah, it's extravagant.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm-
I do like that it'll actually be able to go on like water.
That right there is 100% a Star Wars shot. This next one is 100% a Star. Like they're direct
That's
shots from
definitely a
Star Wars.
shot. Yeah.
And this,
Yeah.
like 100% Star Wars shot. Anyway,
Anyway, I want inside more utilized space. I saw once a
Yeah, I agree.
video of an architect which was criticizing the 600i,
yeah.
and he was right about some stuff, definitely. So they could utilize more space in that.
It's like the business district in Lorville. I was like, this is like 95% empty space.
Okay. No one cares about
How
the
does
890
Star-
jump, so let's move on. Oh wait, no one cares about this one either. So let's.
The
What
best
else?
ship in the game.
What else have we got?
Yeah.
It's not even close to the best ship in the game.
It's the best ship in the game. That's the
Right.
drone bay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got drones.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Who
something
doesn't have
straight out
drones
of,
at this point?
It's something straight out of a Ridley Scott film.
I still absolutely love the three chairs for the pilot and the co-pilots.
Nice.
My favorite part of the whole ship, and the huge like glass nose. It's great.
And some, discussion area.
Oh yeah, they also showed. I think it's later on, but they also showed off the like armor shield that comes down over the top.
Yeah.
Of it.
It's
They did show it.
yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's right there. Actually, you can see it.
So one, why is there no armor over the bottom? It's space. It doesn't matter which direction you're like.
Because that was the concept.
Yeah, I know, but it should be over both if you want it to be realistic. Two,
The bottom is transparent aluminum.
Yeah. Yeah.
then why do you need the?
It's not armor, right? You're all thinking of it wrong. It's just a sun visor.
Oh,
fair
okay, fair.
Yeah. It's like sunglasses.
So I've got a really big pet peeve with this
Sun
right
can
now.
also come from everywhere.
Damn it! Curata says that the concept showed armor on the bottom as well. Okay, so they have to fix that.
So here's a really big pet peeve that I have right now with the interior design of this ship.
Was that?
It's this. It goes like this everywhere. Like there's the floor,
I know.
and then it goes out, and then it goes in, and they've got little tiny struts here to make it a square, like pathway. But it's not. Why just make it a rectangle? Why do you have this little? Ooh, we've got this little tiny detail thing, but there's a strut there.
It's aesthetics.
Yes, Shiver. Yes, Shiver.
Now, I do completely agree with you. All right, I'm not disagreeing or anything. I've always assumed it was inspired by Star Trek TNG.
I was literally
Very-
thinking the exact same thing when I saw that. I'm like, hey, that looks like the Enterprise.
It's very impractical. I agree.
It's horribly impractical.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's all.
I mean,
I just-
that's funny. We had the same thought at the same moment. I was like, hey, that looks exactly like an Enterprise room.
I just thought I'd mention it's impractical. Also, I really like how much they're trying to make it look like the Reclaimer when it's landed. Because they're like, shit, the Reclaimer looks amazing when landed. We better make the Carrack look like the Reclaimer when landed.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks great actually with the new landing system. I really like how the back engine's like. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Um,
Also, that is optional now that the antennas can
Yeah, that's really cool.
direct.
Thing is, all of their
correct.
so
Right word.
Flint, I agree that it's the manufacturer's design aesthetic, but you're losing room when all of your rooms are like this. This is
Yes,
this is the
you do.
room side. This is the room side. Well, now what's all this space in between the rooms? Because we've got these giant, like we're making these giant bulkheads and losing space on the inside because of the angled design.
Yep.
That's all. I don't like the Carrack. I feel like it looks too spin. You know what it reminds me of, kind of, especially when you're looking at on the outside. It reminds me of that stupid ass mining ship from Star Trek, the new one. The Romulan mining ship from Star Trek. It's just the stupidest thing ever because all it is like a million different pointy things.
Except it doesn't look like that at all.
The front does. If you look at the front, it's all these angles underneath and all these pointy bits under the... Like, everything's just pointy. Nah, pointy. Look, it's pointy. It's all pointy lines.
Well, I think it's fucking gorgeous. Fuck you.
I agree.
Well, you're all wrong.
I'm on the gorgeous side.
I cannot wait to fly that. That is my biggest
Yeah.
ship, and I can't wait to fly it.
Weapons!
Can we not skip over the one amazing detail? They've put a fucking hollow table in, the same stuff that they're using on the Idris. You've got that on the Carrack, and that's awesome.
and
You
and
can
it's
properly feel
exploration.
like you're a sci-fi captain with the hollow... that's awesome.
It's exploration.
Also, I mean, anyone that's like,
Guns.
ooh, Carrack, Reclaimer, Banu Merchantman, Endeavor. Done. Weapons. Weapons look cool.
And this is so. Yeah, actually, one of the things that came up on our TV was about the modularity of the weapon, the customization, and everything, and that is on the way. Coming this year. When is very much up in the air. I think due to Squadron mostly. But actually, now's the perfect time to mention that. So this week we only had a Squadron 42 roadmap update because next week we will have the huge update to the PU roadmap, which will give us 3.7 and 3.8,
Yeah, 2 additional quarters.
and we get to see what the heck's going to happen, or what the heck is supposed to happen. Then they can change it all when we get there.
That's still going to be pretty good. That'll be interesting.
It will.
Not going to be complete either. So if salvaging isn't on there, that doesn't mean no salvaging for a year. It just means right now it's not on the schedule.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the weapon looks that they're showing off? They look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like most of the weapons they make, and most of the ones that I don't like, they end up redoing them, and then I like them. So
Fair.
So many weapons.
This one they're showing right now is pretty cool. It looks very beefy. I'm kind of confused as to why it has insulation around the barrel, but sure they have a reason.
It's stealth sit.
Oh, okay.
What's that, Hermes?
I have enough weapons already, so I don't know. I tried to when I played 3.4, I believe. I tried to get through all of them, and especially when in PTU, early PTU. So when I could buy everything I wanted to. Whew, that's a lot, and I have to buy cartridges for everyone. In particular,
Yeah.
it's oof.
They still need to improve the buying system of like, I would like to buy this gun with the cartridges, with ammo. Just let me buy everything in one.
Yeah. Or just mark it and then blend just the munition in.
Yeah.
Which you or something like that. It has to reduce. You don't have to go through a list of 21 different ammos just to find your particular one.
I find I really didn't like that when setting up my loadout either, because okay, I've got the pistol I want. Now I have to find the right mag for the pistol and the right. Just when I load a gun by default, can you just give me at least one default mag for like just simplify it a bit. That's all. I find that your claim though that you have enough weapons to be hilarious because I mean
I don't want to shoot.
The one thing that I still think that Star Citizen is missing is that little bit of crack. That little bit of crack that you get from games like Diablo, Anthem, Destiny, or The Division. I need a little bit of crack. I just need that little bit of crack splintered on the ground, sprinkled on the ground. When I kill something, I need some weapons to drop, and I need to just sniff them up.
The gameplay.
I play firsthand in priority. I play a space simulation, and then an FPS. And the FPS part I do only because I like to land somewhere and go to the next store or to a person in direct. I love that part, but shooting is not my primary focus in my game. So
I think a lot of people it isn't, but I want my crack. Okay.
I can ship customization. That is something I can agree with. That can be.
I want them both. I want it all.
Yeah, they talked about that too this week on our TV. I'm really excited for the ship customization stuff. It's going to be great.
AAAARGH Corp.
It's going to be great.
Buildings.
And they also talked about something they couldn't mention now. T0 implementation of Turbulent. It sounded though it seemed to be like a customizer or something.
Yeah, that's what I was just mentioning. It's a ship customizer. So they're going to debut that with the 300 series, hopefully with 3.5.
I'm definitely excited to see the new 300 series like in action. I've been hanging on to a 315p for a while, and AAAARGH Corp looks phenomenal.
It looks very good. I can't wait to fly around in it.
As a city-sized planet or a planet-sized city.
Yes.
Both. Yeah.
They had to simplify it massively, though.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a big problem there as well. It's bringing down the draw calls for that one, and
Yeah, I think that's honestly. I think in the future that's going to be your test for your computer. Can it run ArcCorp?
Yeah. But it looks good. It looks really good.
And that's I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's quite impressive that they're able to like randomly generate something like that. I think it's really cool.
Todd Pappy said their big challenge has been getting that to look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were some good details. They said the flight ceiling they're currently playing with is 400 meter or basement, I guess, is 400 meters. So you can't fly below 400 meters.
Fine.
Except in of course like Area 18. And then they want you to be able to like, fly through all the buildings in Area 18 areas.
Well, especially with like one of the things that it was all we could do originally, and was stand there on that damn bridge and just watch the ships fly by overhead, and you're just like you're sitting there watching that, and you're like, I cannot wait until I can do that. That is all I want. I want to fly by. Right? So they need to still manage that somehow, but yeah.
I think when I first went down to Hurston and got into that train and the train just drove by itself. I wasn't steering the wheel or something, and going just along the buildings is an amazing effect. If you don't steer, if you can't steer, if you have a feeling you're really on a train and everything just passes by. And here also you see it with the buildings when they also, if you get flown to somewhere and you get the feeling. So
I wouldn't object to it being
the vibe.
Oh, you've made it down this far. Manual, like the flight tower will now take control of your ship and guide you the rest of the way in, and you can't control anymore, right? Like,
yeah, take over, and the rest is just your adventure, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe you
How
can
would you feel
get out of your seat
if-
already. Then
How
prepare
would you
for
feel
landing.
if they had it so if you had a landing computer, it can only be used on certain high-level worlds, and that's exactly what happened. If you don't have a landing computer, you've got to do it manually. Lesser tech worlds or more criminal worlds, no automatic landing whatsoever.
No, none at all.
Not at all. Yeah.
I think that would work. I think there'll be a lot of iteration between what we have now and what is eventually the, let's go live version of handling landing.
High population and high industrial worlds where I can see a lot of automatic controls, automation.
I'm also
I can see landing automated as well, and taking away controls. Not because they have to, because it's better and more believable in that way, and also you as a player get the spirit more if you can.
I'm not sure if they'll automate landing. I think they might like Elite Dangerous's model too much. Where it's one of the dangerous parts of the game. You got to land your damn ship.
One of the things we haven't seen, we know that ships also have all these other components, right? Components that we haven't really gotten to play with, stuff other than engines and power and cooling and all that. But they have flight computers and like targeting computers and targeting ships and all that. And we don't really know how lots of those are going to affect things. So I would like different levels of, or maybe not even different levels, but different specifications of flight computers. Like, I suck at landing. I'm going to buy myself a flight computer that will do the landing process for me perfectly.
Mm. Or you can't go to the planet. You are forbidden to go to the planet because you don't have the tech for it to land there.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, yeah. I actually am really excited for the component sense system because that every component can work with it simultaneously. It's like you playing a managing game as well. You know, if someone shoots down one component and it has a cascade effect through the whole system, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
To think about, actually, to have really small components on your ship, which can make a big impact on your overall flight behavior.
I do want to switch this over to questions now. So if you have any questions, exclamation mark in the
I
chat.
have a question, sir.
Yeah, what's that, Shiver?
Go to the toilet, please.
No.
It's that fucking coffee I had before the car.
Do it like Amazon.
No, you bloody can't, you
Take a
bastard.
bottle and-
Go.
Bee.
Thank you.
What was that one?
That was weird. So Bryce Arena asks, is Eris putting up some sound dampening material? No, it's actually just been sitting there for a long time. I'm too lazy to move it. I put like 2 up, and then I was like, I'm done. The rest are just going to sit there on the floor. Bryce Arena also asks, how did everyone come up with their pseudonyms?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
So
Go for it.
about 32 years ago, my parents named me David. And it just sort of stuck.
32?
Yes.
You young David, do you?
Yes, he's the young one.
That is not young.
He's the baby. Except for, Mr. Acapella.
Yeah.
I'm getting 35 this year. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah, me too. You're the same age as me. So.
Oh, you bunch of young bastards.
Hey, you're what, like 20?
25 again.
Again, yeah. Yeah, I've had that one a few times myself.
My pseudonym.
I mean, to be fair, I'm almost 33. What?
I don't even remember being 33 anymore.
It's okay. I don't remember being 32.
I lost count with 32. Between 32 and 34, I didn't know how old I was. Really?
Hey, that happened to me too. I was like, am I 35 yet? No, I still got a year or 2.
It's February now, right?
Just cut yourself in half and count the ring.
I'm like two months away from 33. So there.
Disgusting.
So that we got slightly off track there. How did everyone come up with their pseudonyms?
Well, yeah, but I didn't answer you.
I know.
Just made it up.
Yeah. Hermes. Let's go with Hermes.
I just made it up. I started, what sounds good? Okay, consonant, vocal, consonant, vocal,
Consonant.
I
like it.
You come up with it. That's awesome.
Sargareth.
I later Googled
Thank
it.
you. I don't know if you've ever listened to me clearly, because I wouldn't call me wise for any age, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you wise for any age either.
Nakara, how did you come up with Nakara?
I came up with Nakara. So, I've actually worked on several fan sites over the years. My first one, I think, might have been my second one, was Diablo 2, way back in the day.
It's funny because years and years and years ago, I used to use Diablo 2 fan sites for all of, like, stats and stuff. And I remember thinking to myself for years, man, I wonder what kind of a loser spends all their time putting together a Diablo 2 fan site.
Me. That's the kind of loser. Anyway.
I had a strike fan side.
Anyway, so this is like, so I'm going to tell you the real way I come up with it. It's super, like, not exciting. On the site that I worked for, briefly, which I think was Diablo2.net at the time, we had a fan fiction section, and there were some really great stories in there, and one of them was a necromancer named Nehekar. And I basically went, that's a really cool name, and it's too long, so I'm going to make it shorter, and I'm going to use it. And that was, it was a character's name from a Diablo 2 fanfic from like 20 years ago? 20 years ago.
Eris came from Star Wars Galaxies. The first character I rolled was Eris Adelphi. And
Cool.
Eris stuck. Shiver?
Shiver's just a nickname that I acquired many years ago that I don't even remember if there's an origin story.
You were really cold
Bathory.
one night.
Probably. But Bathory comes from my great whatever grandmother, who was Elizabeth Bathory.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Which is quite interesting.
you have terror and fright in your family.
Fastcart asks, or says, good news. Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow, and tradition says an early spring is on the way. I hate to break it to you, but the gopher up here in Canada,
It's not a gopher, it's a groundhog.
groundhog, whatever. What's his bloody name?
No, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, you take it away then.
From two of, or from one of David's friends and one of my friends actually. The groundhogs are dead, frozen in their icy tombs.
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah, it continued. Are you happy? Wait, let's make sure we don't repeat this day tomorrow. I don't know.
That'd be really weird.
I'd be kind of okay repeating this day. It's been an okay day. FC asks, who will win the Super Bowl tomorrow? Who will win the Puppy Bowl tomorrow? Wait, there's bowls? Why do people want to win bowls? Was this like a contest you enter?
I thought the Super Bowl was already. I have no idea.
When's the Rose Bowl?
What's the Rose Bowl?
I'm not entirely sure, to be
Okay.
honest.
Well, I mean, good money's on the Patriots because they're the Patriots and they always win. So,
Yes.
Patriots? I
Of
mean, I don't want
course.
the Patriots to win, but I think the Patriots
I don't
will
actually
probably
know
win.
who they're facing, so I'm going to say that the Pirates are going to win because that's a team.
Sure.
Oh, is it? I thought you were being really fucking stupid and actual pirate.
No, the Pirates are a baseball team. They're my favorite baseball team. And that's what happens in Super Bowl, right? It's baseball?
Could be cake mix, couldn't it?
Fastcart asks, Shiver, do you have any regrets about last night?
I should have left the money on the side.
Fastcart says, it's time for an Eris rant. Does the cast think that they're getting their money's worth from subscriptions?
No.
No. That's why I canceled mine. I haven't thought that we're getting our money's worth from subscriptions basically since Chris Roberts started being on anything. He essentially appears for about 12 seconds once a month on an ATV, and even when he's there, he's not actually there to talk about anything. He's there to sort of be talked at by Sandy and then carry on. And I miss like actual questions, not just for Chris, but also like I miss the dedicated like 10 for the devs and 10 for the producers and the.
That reminds me, they want to include 10.4 into RTV now. I think this is a big mistake.
I do as well, to be honest. I think it should be its own.
Chris Roberts died, and it's now like Weekend at Star Citizen.
No, I stopped my subscription because I haven't thought we were getting our money's worth for like a year or two, quite frankly.
I will start subscribing again. I don't know. I just want to subscribe. I hope they will fix it, but I don't think that bringing 10.4 or the what was it called now? The latest Calling All Deaths, that this is a good idea to include it into RTV.
Yeah.
I think it's an exceptional bad idea because Calling All the Death is a good format. It works. It works pretty well. It
I
has
liked it,
amazing
actually,
questions
quite a bit.
and it has amazing answers. And RTV is okay. 1 hour. I can see that they want to reduce it or maybe want to.
Oh no, I don't think they're going to reduce RTV. I think it'll still be an hour. They'll just part of RTV's hour will be calling all
but
devs.
it will reduce. It will reduce a part of RTV then.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
it's not the way to go, I believe, because
I'll send a message to Zylo right now and go, what the F? I'll say exactly that.
Yep.
Be like, P.S. Where's my game?
What do they show? You know, I'm going to be completely honest. You wanted a rant, you will get a rant. I think it's honestly
Irate?
still. I'm slightly irate, so I'm going to rant.
Taking the tie off, it's serious shit.
Well, no, it actually just it's uncomfortable without a shirt on. I'm really disappointed that we still haven't gotten any fucking design docs. Like, where the fuck did those go, man? I really liked those.
how they plan to do things. I think most of them are already written and try to get followed, but they deviate from it very often.
But we don't have anything further, and they get deviated from, but they don't get updated. Like,
Yeah, there should be like solid design documents for all of the major careers.
you're this far into things like mining and salvage and cargo and bounty hunting. How does why don't we know how any of this shit is going to work yet in the actual final game? Why haven't you told us how the game is going to work? I understand that you can't build the gameplay yet because it's still further out, right? It takes time to test and to go somewhere. But the design documents, and we've understood this for a long time, back when they still existed, these were just ideas for how you're trying to make things work. They weren't set in stone. Even going back to Death of a Spaceman, that was never set in stone. It was Chris's idea on what it is that they want to try and shoot for. And I really don't understand why we don't get those anymore. CIG is no longer about, oh, this is what we're shooting for, this is what we're striving for, this is what we're striving for, unless it's graphics. Sure, great. We get to know that you're trying for cool graphics. Okay, but you always have. That's always been there. Show us what you're striving for in gameplay. Show us what you're striving for in customization and mining. Okay, we can mine a rock, but how many different things are there going to be to mine? How many different planets are we going to be able to mine on? Can you mine any? Like, why is there not more detail? We still don't really know. Like, what's the point of an Orion, right? Okay, it scales up, but does it still play the same way it did when it was in the Orion document? I don't know where all of this information is, and I don't know why we don't have access to it.
I agree with
Cassie!
everything you just said.
I'm having a rant. I'm allowed to rant. People want me to rant, so I'm ranting.
Did you get yelled at for ranting?
I got a couple Discord messages telling me to let other people talk.
You really are engaged now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Love you. I'm in trouble. No, I'm still. I'm pretty disappointed by the lack of just info, really, on where other things are going.
It's true, we don't see much anymore of posts about how things should be. But we hear it now. That's the difference. So they are still there, but we get them explained now every time. So
I don't find that they're explained in as much detail though. Like it's a couple words here, a couple words there, and then you have to
If you listen to Tony Z, he is a design document in human form. So
okay, you want a real rant? Okay, here's the real bloody rant. The real bloody rant is that at CitizenCon they promised an hour of nothing but Tony Z, and it hasn't happened. Where is my hour of nothing but Tony Z?
I agree on that front too. The other thing I think is really important for subscribers is, remember when they took away all the long form ATVs and they're like, oh, those will be parsed out separately and we'll get them in different, they'll be on their own. There hasn't been a single one, and it's been a year almost. There have been 0. So that's not as many as 1, and 0 is a bad number.
Yeah.
So they need to, so if there's not going to be calling all devs, and ATV's short, and RTV is going to be shorter because they're putting some calling all devs stuff in there, they need another show.
Yeah.
Period.
But
and they can call it Designing All Designs, and it'll be hosted by Tony Z.
But design documents should be separate folder and categorized, and should be like an encyclopedia.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hey,
point. By the way, where's the Galactopedia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Okay, so Fastcart, I hope you are happy with that little mini rant. I could have gone on, but apparently I'm
yes, Fastcart, I'm amazing at math.
Bryce Arena asks, Eris, how did you like Todd's explanation about weapons and their attachments in RTV? Haven't actually watched RTV yet, have not had time, so I didn't get to see that, unfortunately, yet. You should
check it out. It's a good one. It just I would like what I did as had it on the background when I was gaming. It was Todd Pappies knows a lot.
Yeah, I will check that out because I do want to know what their plans are for attachments. I hadn't.
He touches on lots of stuff in that one.
It only happens on Friday. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a busy week.
So, yeah, you were radioactive this week. That was cool.
Yeah, I was. I had on Thursday. I had an MRI, CT scan, and a bone scan all at once, and I was injected with radioactive stuff. So I was radioactive for a day, which was cool.
It used to be my job to do that to people.
Can you shoot out spider webs or something?
I can't. I was trying to actually catalog. I was trying to catalog on Twitter whether I got any powers, but apparently my powers are still just to be loud and obnoxious. So nothing's changed. I did, however, document that there's this great thing that many of you won't be aware of. It's called socialized medicine. So 2 weeks ago,
I like your document about that.
2 weeks ago, I went to a doctor and was like, hey, I've got this thing in my arm. It's a problem. I need to get it checked out. She's like, okay, the hospital will call you. And then Tuesday this week, the hospital called and they were like, hey, can you come in on Wednesday? And I was like, no, I can't do Wednesday. And they're like, okay, can you come in Thursday, 8 a.m.? And I was like, okay. So I went in Thursday at 8 a.m. and I got a bone scan, a MRI, and a CT scan. And the total cost to me of all this, and I'll go back to my doctor in a week or two when they have the results and figure out what's going on. But the total cost of this to me was $14 for parking.
Yep.
Socialized medicine.
Very expensive. Actually, that's funny because we have no Americans on the stream today, so we all have socialized medicine.
I know. We're all sitting here isn't that just how it works?
Pretty much standard, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
No, but my point of pointing that out was just, hey, it does work almost everywhere else in the world except for America. And you might want to think about why they don't want it to work there.
Because they like people to die.
Actually, and because they like
yes, at some point
money.
It's undeniable anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Moving on from the politics. Fastcart asks, is there a handy-dandy graphic for the changes in the Squadron 42 roadmap, like the ones for the Star Citizen roadmap?
Yes, there is. Posted
Same
in
dude.
our Discord.
Yep.
Because I asked for it and I got it from Regan Riker. Thank you.
I actually follow the guy on Twitter who makes them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him a quick shout out. His name is Odysseus Ithaca on Twitter, and his handle is at Odysseus1992.
He does a great job.
I believe he's. I'm totally going to murder this. I think he's Italian. Nope, French. Sorry, my
French.
bad.
There's a
I can't-
large
I
French
don't know why.
community.
So he's French. So a lot of his tweets are in
Enough to
French.
fill a
But,
country.
a lot of his tweets are in French, but obviously the roadmaps he makes are in English, so they're great.
So Tilu asks, how do you expect them to regulate flying in city planets or important planets like ArcCorp? Do you wish to see security checkpoints, space lanes, or freelancer-like rings to get in or out of Atmo? I can't believe you'll be able to fly willy-nilly in and out of the planet like ArcCorp or Terra. I
You'll
think
be able to fly willy-nilly in and out of the planet like ArcCorp or Terra. I mean, Earth is the only one I can see. Earth, maybe they have to restrict heavily because everyone will be like, I can't see my house. Where the hell's my house? You know. But ArcCorp, we will be able to fly over the whole planet. Minimum, or there's like there's a minimum flight height over most of the planet, which is 400 meters currently.
I think it'll just be you can go
fly too close.
You can go down to 400 meters anywhere, and then if you want to land, you have to request landing, and then the system will take over and it'll land for you. Like,
how would socialized game? I'm gonna riff off of Fastcart's comment here. Socialized game development. So you get taxed by the government, and then the government makes games that you get for free.
Well, you kind of get that. You kind of get that in lots of places, actually. If you look at where lots of game developers put their studios, they put them there because they get tax breaks or tax benefits, which are write-offs provided by the taxpayers to essentially fund video game development, because it's also funding jobs, and a specific kind of jobs, high-tech jobs. So basically most game developers, it's why you have a lot in places like Austin, it's why you've got a lot in the UK, it's why you're starting to have a lot in like Montreal and Vancouver. It's because those cities have decided, hey, look, we want this kind of job, we want this kind of person living in our city, we are going to fund this. And that's basically socialized game development, and most game developers anywhere are actually engaged in some form of socialized game development.
Actually, that's why over half of CIG's staff is in the Manchester studio, because they get something like, it's like some like 30 or 35% less expensive for them to hire a developer there because of their tax breaks.
Yep.
So they like, I think
the funny thing is,
like
most things,
like 280 of the 500 people at CIG are in Manchester.
It's funny because most corporations are actually socialized.
Heavily subsidized.
Heavily subsidized. The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a socially funded event, because guess what? The NFL doesn't pay security for the Super Bowl. The federal government, the United States government, pays security for the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is socialized sports. America's favorite pastime is socialized sports.
Actually, there is a condition to make business. And
goodbye.
Infrastructure before that. You can't make money without a social infrastructure beforehand.
Yep.
It's not possible. So you can go into a completely
to anyone
war
complaining
country and try to change some to change with people somewhere. But yeah, good luck with that. So,
I literally don't care about anyone complaining about political shit, because it's actually not political at all. It is fact-based game development commentary. You came here for game development commentary, and we are giving to you it realer than anything else.
Yeah,
You're getting
and
the facts.
I've heard in Norway, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard if you are in a band and you want to make an album, you get sponsored your first album so that you can get it on CD, and if it sells okay, then you can go on and go on and go on, and this is government funded. So
and that's lots of there are a lot of game development grants that you can get even here in Canada. It's you can apply for government grants to create games, and
that's a thing like similar in a lot of forms of entertainment. There's a lot of like TV and movies that are made in Canada for the same reason.
Yep. And
we should move on to
So
our...
I think what they're going to do is, if eventually in the release game, if you go underneath the minimum fly height, I'm really hoping they'll send police after you to shoot you down. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
I
just hope.
I don't know about police. Maybe I think they should have, you know, in Mario the giant, I can't remember what they're called, the giant plants that like eat you.
Piranha plants. That just got added to Super Smash Bros.
Those should like mechanized piranha plants should just like burst out of the surface and just wipe.
I actually think that it's going to depend entirely on the socially funded ceiling height for ship flight. Okay.
Ridiculous, man.
Always. I'm never going to change. Idris Carrier asks, how many humans live in the universe of Star Citizen and Squadron 42? 0.
They're human-related hybrids. No. How many humans?
I don't know.
Has that ever been in part of the lore?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Haramis is right. The population of the universe is going to depend entirely on the population of citizens, because CIG have always said 10-to-1 ratio. So if we've got 1 million citizens, the population of the verse is going to be 10 million.
Yeah,
11
and
million.
if you
11
have
million,
less,
whatever.
you can downscale your calculations.
To an extent, but I'm wondering if there's a lore answer, because I've never read a lore answer to that question.
I don't know. They probably don't know. I mean, that's a weird... That is a question you have to answer sometimes in hard sci-fi.
And Master Race, which says we have to be 10 times. In the background, they say, "Ooh, do that or you die."
We should totally ask that question to CIG Dev sometime.
We should, actually.
Although,
it's a good question.
David Haddock. We should be like, dude, how many people are there in the verse?
Idris Carrier also asks, how and why did ArcCorp cover a whole planet in buildings while Hurston has this little city? A rule of cool.
I thought, isn't the lore answer
Time.
that the ArcCorp planet is basically an HQ planet? It is an important planet to ArcCorp. They own the entire planet. It's like a corporate HQ that just so happens to be a planet. Whereas Hurston, they're not interested in owning the planet.
It is, but I would
nukes on there just to test them.
I would like CIG to justify I would like to see an actual mathematical justification for the size of a company that requires 50 billion people on the planet. It's a whole planet. We have like 8 billion humans on Earth, and we haven't covered half the planet. They've got a full
social industry. It's all socialized.
I want to know the size of the company that justifies an entire planet as its HQ.
100 billion employees. There you go.
Okay, so that's at minimum.
I just wanted to correct something though. Hurston does own all of Hurston. It's just that I think they own them for different reasons. I think ArcCorp is like an HQ. Hurston owns Hurston to strip it for all of its natural resources and to test weapons on the surface.
And dump stuff.
Yeah,
and dump toxic waste.
Fair.
We are looking at a galactic empire here, so it's a galactic economy, which means, I suppose, when you put it in that perspective, you know, today's modern day mega corporations have fucking huge tower, and in the 400 or 500 years in the future, they have a whole planet.
I don't think that you can numerically justify the growth. Even the largest companies in the world right now have a campus. They've got a small campus that's not even the size of a single city. You might have a city-sized headquarters for a company in the future. I personally don't believe that you can justify the requirement for an entire planet headquarters. So to me, the only answer is rule of cool. It exists because it's cool to say that there's a city planet. And honestly, if we really go further into this, it's probably there entirely because Chris was coming up with planets and he was like, man, Coruscant was cool. Let's make ArcCorp.
Yeah. Pretty
Done.
much.
That is the answer.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, sorry.
Next one.
Bryce Arena says, with CIG releasing their financials and generally seeing where they stand, will you continue to give money by buying ships? Let's do a roundtable. Shiver?
Oh, I bought more ships around. I couldn't help myself, so the answer is yes.
You bastard.
I never said I wasn't going to.
It's true. Haramis?
Making finances transparent is the right thing to do, and I support that to the fullest, and it wouldn't have an effect on my buying behavior though. So it would increase it definitely, but I don't see myself. I have planned to buy the Reliant Exploration variant,
Right.
and this is my plan from since a few years ago. So, yeah.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So mine's probably going to be very different from what the question was intending, but because they've been transparent, because you can look at their financials and see that they have been pretty responsible with the money they've been given, I'm actually more likely to give them money now than before, because I know that it's actually being spent properly.
I'm really pleased that they released the financials. I think it's the right thing to do. I'm glad that it seems like they're doing well. I'm glad lots of people are going to continue to support them. I have so far supported them to the tune of $5,000 approximately. I will not be spending another penny on Star Citizen, period.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, I'm not going to.
You're not going to
Not even
one again.
Not even one penny.
I cannot justify any more money spent into Star Citizen when there's like I can't justify it.
You're gonna be drunk some night. You're gonna be like, I want a freaking Aurora.
Nope.
I knew that coming.
Nope. It's been 5 years plus, and
Look at this Aurora. It has a nutcracker. Yeah,
I'm good.
I want it.
I will not be spending any more money on Star Citizen. I've spent more than I needed to. I've spent more than anyone needs to. I'm gonna wait for the. I'm gonna wait for the game. I'm now waiting for the game.
I would be
Content
stunned if you
creators,
didn't
like you
spend any money at all on Star Citizen for the rest of your life.
Actually, Flint,
You're not getting Squadron 42 Episode 2?
We'll see. That's going to be based on Squadron 42 Episode 1. I'm not going to spend anything more on ships to support the game development until we get like a game, right? Yeah, and then okay, if you want to sell me Squadron 2 Episode 2, fine. I'm also not really counting the cost of supporting Relay. I'm also not really counting just so many thousands of hours put into Relay.
But we are early backers, aren't we? We get Squadron 42 Episode 2.
Yeah,
we do.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do. So
only if you've got the package that comes with Episode 2.
I have that.
I'm not getting it.
All the original ones did.
I was original early backer, so I should have that.
Yeah.
Check your hangar to see.
It
wasn't with every single package at specific buyer.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I have it. Anyway, FC asks, is Relay doing anything for Black History Month this year? I want a different answer from last year, which was having me on the show. Nope.
We're going to make the show 3/5 short.
Oh my god. I had no plans for it.
So bad. Oh. If you have any complaints, just write to Shiver.
Oh yeah, sure. Good.
It's always me anyway.
Use a fictional email address.
I would
relay.sc.
Damn it. Is there anything similar in lore in Star Citizen?
Sorry.
Black History Month. Like, does it continue in the lore in Star Citizen? Because that I'd be interested in seeing.
I think so. Not that I'm aware of.
I'd be interested in seeing that, but yeah.
What was in the trailer? There were human dealers. What weren't they? The Shao Kahn people. They were human traffickers, I believe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Maybe.
I could see CIG doing something. I think they probably should at some point. But Tilu asks, in one of the recent CIG releases, the Red Bull thing, we've seen some more fauna concept art things. That said, what form does your nightmare Star Citizen alien predator take, and what will hunt you on a remote planet?
Can you repeat that question? I'll just read it because I need to.
Answers respectively, Eris and me.
For fauna, I want stuff that looks like it belongs on the planets where it is. BioWare releasing Anthem, and Anthem it looks incredibly vertical. It's great, and flying it is great, but it sort of looks like everything needs to fly. And they've got these big hulking beast animals that run around and like will lift rocks out of the ground and throw them at you. And I'm thinking, you know what? I could see those dying out. I don't see
rocks?
those rocks. Yeah. I mean, they keep being thrown.
Throwing them.
Yeah. There aren't going to be any more, guys. Like, come on,
They all get into orbit, and then they eventually run out.
Definitely nothing like No Man's Sky, please.
Yes.
I don't want a T-Rex with butterfly wings flapping along.
you know,
Someone clip that.
yeah. Please clip that.
I don't want it.
Oh, to have the energy of a 32-year-old again.
Someone clip that and send it to me.
Those were times. But you had this on an original T-Rex, so
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Last question.
Triangularity. It's like I'm late, right? 3 minutes left.
Question.
Last question. Haramis asks, why does a pilot in Star Citizen experience G-forces while the crew doesn't, and will CIG fix this? I bloody hope so.
I'm actually stumbling on that question now for so fucking long.
I think they will. I think the
We
closest...
have to remind them. So I broke this up again and again and again.
I think
will
the
bring it up.
closest thing we got is a long time ago they were talking about putting out like curios and things in your ship and being like, yeah, they'll all fall down if you do too many maneuvers. So we're trying to figure out how to work that. So I think that they will have the rest of the ship eventually affected by G-forces. I don't know when that will be. It would be a pretty bad simulation if they didn't, to be honest.
Yeah,
I agree. I really think that they need to model the G-forces for everybody in the ship. And I agree with Bryce Arena as well. He said the reason why is because they model the G-force effects within the seats and not the physics grid, which they should fix.
They might have to fix that. And they probably will. I can't imagine Chris not wanting that fixed, but it's probably not a immediate priority.
They've talked about the cargo sloshing around, so if the cargo is going to slosh around, the people should slosh around. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And plus, I want to get thrown sideways into a bulkhead while we get hit by a missile.
Yeah, you want to first you want to get thrown around a little bit.
Yeah.
Second, you have special surfaces which are for cargo, and those are gravity surfaces, which I don't know,
and
but
you
they
want
have special lore things.
You want to be able to be like, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter some heavy turbulence as a bunch of fuckwit pirates try and attack us. Please strap yourselves in. It's gonna get to be a bumpy ride.
Wait, does Marius is flying the ship?
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Did I steal your joke again?
Yes!
So, actually, I just wanted to bring up,
right.
I agree with Tilu. That was one of my favorite parts of The Expanse, is that they actually had the physics more or less right. And everyone had to, like, take that, like, crazy white juice that flowed into them so that they could not die from G-forces. Yeah, definitely needs to be in the game. And we should probably get a clip of that little thing from David as well.
Damn you. With that, that's it.
Man.
We're done.
Hey, wait, we're done. Yeah,
We're done.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you guys all for
Everyone
hanging
have a
out.
nice Saturday.
Haramis, thanks for being on.
Woo!
It was a pleasure. I didn't have to
Yes,
do the
yeah,
wave
no,
a single time this week. This is amazing. My shoulders are thanking each and every one of you.
Somebody quickly.
It's too late. It's too late. We're leaving. No, seriously, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I think this Tuesday, Nakara and I are doing a space show on part 2 of the Apollo program.
Show them
Yes, we are
the
on
contact
Tuesday.
structure.
So
Tuesday.
join us Tuesday for that, and then come back and hang out with us next week. We'll see you all in the verse.